Hello, what's up YouTube? Welcome to another Bleach chapter review. This is Bleach chapter 572. Now, this chapter was very interesting. Really interesting because we find out that Mr. V, like I said last week, was really not all that important, really not so threatening. His vanishing power, whatever. Alright? This chapter was awesome because of this other guy, and we don't really get his name, but his power is really dangerous. I mean, basically whatever this guy imagines happens. So basically we're seeing Mr. V there, alright? And he's going on about how he vanished, Yachiru's attack, blah 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 blah. I'm gonna skip through all that because I don't really care about that part, alright? Suddenly a huge chunk of him disappeared, and Isana's like, what the hell? And then we see this other Quincy guy, he just shows up, and he's sitting on the bedside where the two captains were, Junshiro and Kensei. And he's like, they're dead. And then, well, he didn't say that first, but he was talking to Mr. V. He's like, I'm sorry, you're great, but I just can't imagine your future anymore. And this guy dies in a very, explosive manner. And then he's talking to his son. He's like, oh, don't worry about these guys, because I know you're worried about your officers, but don't worry about them. They're dead. Oh, this is shocking, because I'm wondering something. Was he there the whole time? And also the barrier around them, did he make that? Because he was inside the barrier, and that's why Mr. V couldn't escape, because I think he can't really escape that barrier. I don't know why, but what we do know, is that this guy basically probably entered the same way, because through the Quincy, the Quincy's can manipulate this dimension of the Ice Palace area. So maybe he was there watching the whole time. Most likely he was there watching the whole time. But what is interesting is that he's the one that created V. So it's confusing. It's kind of like Mr. Superstar, where he had his little sidekick cheering him on. In this case, he actually, because he had his own letter, I don't know if this was given to him by Juhabak himself, or if this guy is a Stern Ritter, but he's under this guy. But whatever the case, it doesn't really matter, because we're not going to, find out any more about him, because clearly this guy's is dead. But this other guy, he reminds me of a character from Supernatural. Remember that little kid way back in season, I think it was season 2 or season 3, that kid who was basically born of a demon and something else, and basically whatever this kid imagined would happen. This must have been season 4 actually, because Castiel was in it. Yeah, anyway, anything this guy imagined, basically anything at all this kid imagined would happen. When Ariel the angel threatened him, he imagined he was a toy, and he just turned into a toy. Well, that's kind of what this guy's power basically is like. Anything he imagines happens. And so he starts saying, to Yachiru, I imagine that, all your bones are like cookies. Wouldn't they break as easily? And suddenly we just see her doubling over, breaking bone in her hand and her elbow, and she's falling apart. And I'm thinking, damn, this is serious. And then, at the end, guess who shows up? Kenpachi. Alright, so Kenpachi shows up, and he's like, I've been feeling Yachiru's pressure go down. What the hell is that? Boom, and that's pretty much the chapter. Now, some takeaways from this chapter. We get a little bit more information about Yachiru's Zanpakuto. It seems as though this Zanpakuto is not typical. It's not typical. I myself am a little bit unsure of it, so if any of you out there know more, please let me know in the comments below. But what I get is that Yachiru's sword has basically two components. It's like it's like it's like two living characters that kind of copy whatever she does. It's kind of weird. So it's like it's not so basically I don't know whether everybody can see the images, only if she allows them to see them. But it's not like it's actual living material. It's or reactive. It's very hard to say for sure. All we know is that her sword is normal, doesn't change, but then these characters show up and copy everything she does. Um, the other thing about her sword, I'm wondering, is if her Shikai is activated all the time. I don't really know, but that's besides the point. What is clear is that this other guy, Mr. V, he was useless. Now his new Quincy. First of all, he's really strong. When you power put to the side, he's really strong. Dodging Yachiru's attack, you know, Nachiru has some speed. She really does, and so this guy dodges it like it's nothing. And secondly, not only did he dodge her attack, her first attack, he was able to basically, you know, grab her sword the second time. And that's when he started the whole bone crunching thing. So this guy's no joke. He's the real deal. Second, this guy is clearly more dangerous. He was able to infiltrate their area without either of them knowing, killing both captains sitting there. Now, how could he have done this without them sensing this at all? Did he mask their spiritual pressure? I don't know. But that in itself makes him extremely dangerous. And third, Kenpachi showing up. Honestly, we all expect Kenpachi to win because Kenpachi is probably 5 times stronger than he was before. We know he struggled against Lloyd, but we know that he's truly now the strongest of the Gote 13 out there in terms of power. I mean, he's gone through his training, you know, he should be stronger. So, definitely expect him to win this fight, and I think we all expect that. Now, I'm beginning to notice a pattern here, right? Basically, we're seeing people return from their training. We're seeing an appearance from all of them, and I think it feels like the story is kind of shifting towards these characters who are coming back. Byakuya, Renji, Rukia, Ichigo Soon, Kenpachi. It's like all these guys are coming back who have gone to do their training separately to get more power, to get stronger, to be able to face the Quincy's. It's like they're all coming back, but I don't really have a sense of time for when all this stuff is happening. So you know, I don't know. But here's the thing. Let's say Kenpachi beats this guy. All his powers are going back to Juhabak. Remember, everything that's happening right now, all these Stern Ridders their powers are going back to Juhabak. This is mind-boggling. When Juhabak begins to fight, I have no idea what is going to happen. I mean, is he going to imagine that Ichigo's a mushroom and then he's going to change? Assuming that this guy loses to Kenpachi? I don't know. It just makes... I mean, the more and more these fights go on, it just makes Juhabak's role as a villain just all the more, worse. So anyway, where is this story going? You see, here's the thing. Kenpachi is showing up. All these other people are showing up. Where is this story going to go, and at what point will we see Juhabak, Iru Ishida, and all the others come into the action? But anyway, for this chapter, I think it was a great chapter. I think it was a good chapter. I'm glad to see Kenpachi back in action. Really, really am. So anyway, tell me what you think, and let me know what you in the comment section below. And stay tuned. This is The Crossover, signing out.